Hey everybody, I'm just setting up. I'll be ready in just a sec. Just trying to get everything together. Going to talk about a few cool issues this evening. All right, let's see. Turn that mic down just a little bit. There we go. Just making sure everything is set up. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. Making sure I've got my chat up. Let's see. Making sure we're all set here. 7:31, about time to start. Perfect. Okay, awesome. We are ready to go. Okay, so turn off this music here. All right. So, got a few cool topics to talk about tonight. Going to focus my nightly streams more on like gaming and tech, and focus my Thursday streams on more learning and tech. So it's still kind of all the same topics, but I'm trying to make sure that it's a little separated in some way. So if you have any questions, please feel free to jump in, ask me anything. All right, so I've got like 4 to 5 things I want to talk about tonight. We'll see how long it lasts. Obviously, as you know, my shows can be 10 minutes, or sometimes I'm on here for 30, 45 minutes. It all just depends. But I'm going to be on at this time from now on, Tuesday nights, at least for the time being. All right, so first thing. So I'm checking out, like, there's a bunch of cool stuff happening lately in gaming and tech. And one of the first things, I find this absolutely kind of strange and kind of ridiculous at the same time. Let's see, I just need to adjust this earphone. There we go. Strange and ridiculous at the same time. So you can see on my screen here, right behind me, there's this lawsuit against Fortnite. And basically what I read is, so I don't need this on right this second. Oh yeah, I do. I'm just not used to wearing headphones and talking, but it's kind of crazy. So basically what the lawsuit says is there's these parents out there saying that their kids are addicted to Fortnite. This lawsuit's in Canada, class action lawsuit, but they're saying that their kids are now addicted to Fortnite, and there should have been a warning on the game telling the parents that the game was addictive, because apparently they can't get their kids to quit. Very strange of a lawsuit. So let me kind of talk about like some of the issues here that I have with this. So first of all, it's very strange that, well, that, and you can see the title of the article is Fortnite is compared to cocaine and gambling and stuff in the article. Obviously, that's a big headline, but it's kind of strange that, like, okay, so they want to say the game is addicting, but, like, why don't they tell their kids to stop playing it? Here's where I don't get. Like, I limit my children to how long they can and what they can play. And I will say, my kids are probably addicted to their tablets and addicted to certain games, but they just have a certain time. Like, you just monitor it as a parent. But, like, I can't sue the game company because their game is too fun. Like, that doesn't even make sense. It's just mind-boggling. And this case is obviously going to get tossed out of court, but it's hilarious the stuff people are doing. Like, a game's being sued because it's too fun. Come on. Mind-boggling to me. Absolutely mind-boggling. I don't get it. I don't know why they came up and thought this would be a good lawsuit. Like, maybe they think that the company's just going to, like, settle with them and give them money. But I totally don't get it. If it's too fun, like, stop playing. And I am going to do a video coming up shortly. It's on my, like, list of videos to do about how to actually, if you do become addicted to a game, how do you stop playing, and how do you set, like, boundaries for yourself when playing a game, and how do you quit playing a game that does become too addictive? What are some signs that you're playing too much? Because it's happened to me before, and I've kind of recognized it and been like, whoa, step back, stop playing this game, taking up too much time. I had to do it with World of Warcraft several years ago. But I'll talk about that in another video. But I mean, come on, you cannot sue a company because their game is too fun. No one's forcing you to play it. You're allowing your children to play it. Okay, so that's issue number one I just wanted to mention and talk just a little bit about tonight. Okay, now that that's all the way, let's get... So, the next one's something ridiculous as well. It's not ridiculous. It's it just came in today, like brand new, pretty new. So if you're not familiar with the game Hearthstone, it's a game created by Blizzard, the people that make World of Warcraft. It's a huge game in esports, lots of people playing it. But basically what happened is one of the people who won, so you can see the guy, Blitzchung is his name in the game, won a large tournament. And what happened is after the tournament, they were doing a live stream interviewing him. And you can see how he was dressed. He was dressed with like a gas mask and visor on. And then during the interview, he actually took off the gas mask and said, liberate Hong Kong, revolution of our age, which obviously is referring to protests in Hong Kong. So without even knowing anything about these protests, I mean, I do. I've been paying attention. I pay attention to the news and Nova. But whether you know anything about the protests or not, I've always had this firm belief that, work and your personal, like, stuff you are doing personally and stuff should always be separated. Like, they're two very different things. Like, Blizzard is paying this guy to play esports, entertain people. It's totally not the time. And I get, like, there's another side of the issue. But, like, my opinion is that it's totally not the time to be protesting something else unrelated. So basically what Blizzard has done is they're not paying him the money for winning the tournament, and he's basically like fired. Like he has a 12-month ban from playing. And people are up in arms, and Blizzard can't win in this situation, because if they allow him to do it, then they're the company that's allowing people to protest, and all of a sudden it's like they took sides of an issue. And no company wants to be on a side of an issue. It's like the worst thing for a company to do is like be on a side of an issue, because then you have someone doesn't like them and someone likes them, and it's like this. Just let everyone like you as a company. Like your goal is to like Blizzard's goal is to like make video games fun. Like they don't want to worry about these extra issues if they don't have to make a stand. So I totally get like where they're coming from, but now they look like, oh, they banned this guy. Was it too harsh? Obviously it was in his contract, like you can't do stuff like this, so you can't blame Blizzard. But I have to say to the guy, like, I get like this is your passion and you want to protest this and stuff like that, but there's like always a time and a place for everything too. And you have to think, like, what did I sign and what was going to happen if I did this? Were they just going to let me do it, or was he really going to get banned? And he has to deal with those consequences. Whether it's right or wrong, that's not for me to say, but like I personally would have never done it. He put Blizzard in a really bad position. Now they're losing no matter what. Now they're like looking like they basically are saying they just don't want anyone doing anything like that during any of their tournaments, which I cannot blame them for. But anyway, it's kind of a big issue. We're going to see a lot more news about this in the next like week or two, before it cycles out and we're on to the next thing. But it's really interesting to see what happened here, and just something to pay attention to when you represent a company or you're doing something. Like, what consequences can your actions have, and you always have to consider that before you do anything. So whether he was right or wrong, we'll see what kind of comes out of it. It'll be interesting to watch. It's entertaining. Okay, let's get on to some more exciting stuff, because both of those stories are kind of like boring. Not boring, they're interesting, but like they're just like down. Like, I got 3 more things to talk about, and these are a lot more exciting than that one was. Okay. Big news. PlayStation 5 was announced. So, kind of cool, right? Because we know that when the next Xbox is coming, like holiday 2020, PlayStation 5 now announced, also with a holiday 2020 release. So we're looking at a 2020 release for the next PlayStation and Xbox. Let's talk about what they've told us, and then let me talk about kind of my thoughts. Okay, so um, Sony has officially confirmed the name PlayStation 5. Wow, that's so surprising because they've had the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one's called the 5. So crazy. They're so creative with their names. But cool stuff. Okay, so we don't know how much it's going to cost just yet. We do know it's going to come out on holiday 2020. We don't know the price yet, but they say it's going to be affordable and be attractive to gamers. Will be backwards compatible. Well, they've told us so far it will be backwards compatible, which is always awesome. Like, that's great when it is, because you have all these old games and you don't want to have two systems set up, and it's kind of a pain. It's nice to be able to pop in some of your old games sometimes. So I like that. Glad to see they're doing that. They talk about some of the specs and the disk drive. The specs look pretty good. It's going to have an AMD chip. It also have 8 cores, which is kind of good. Like, it sounds like the console will support 8K gameplay, which, I mean, I don't even have a 4K TV yet. I guess my monitor that I play my games on is, but like I don't know. Me and graphics. It's like we could have stopped at 720p because most people game on a 24-inch monitor. So anything over 720, it's like I'm just not necessarily seeing it. We're not seeing it, but I'm happy with the specs. Specs look good. They showed the controller, but you know, our controllers, we know what our PlayStation controllers, what we like. We're thinking that it's going to support their virtual reality system, which is kind of cool. It's going to be should be using less power, be more energy efficient. We don't really know much about any PS5 games so far, but obviously they're going to come out with a bunch, and they're going to come out with a new user interface. So you can see we don't know a lot of information, but they have announced their system, which is kind of cool. A lot of people are really excited for that. You know, if you're a big Sony fan, you're probably excited for that. I have an Xbox and a Nintendo Switch, and last gen I also had the Nintendo and Xbox. So I haven't had a PlayStation since the PlayStation 2, actually. But I don't think I'm probably buying anymore. I don't think I'm going to buy the new Xbox or PlayStation. I've kind of moved on to PCs, and I don't necessarily see a reason why we have to have these consoles anymore. I get Nintendo. I think the Nintendo Switch is a great console to have because it can be handheld in addition to playing on the TV. So like I can bring it in a car with me and stuff. So I see the value in the Nintendo Switch. I think Nintendo's brilliant in what they're doing. But like next PlayStation, next Xbox, I'm probably gonna skip. You know, I kind of said after the last gen, like this was going to be my last one probably because these games should all be on PC now. I know Xbox been announcing like Halo's going to be on PC and stuff. So as far as that goes, like I kind of probably will not be buying a PlayStation 5 or Xbox, whatever it's going to be called, when they do come out next holiday season. But I will be buying some of the games because they're going to be released on PC as well. So become more of a PC player. I think it's better for me personally to invest my money there. But I totally get why someone wants a console, and I like the idea of them and stuff like that. So good stuff, though. Nice to see these announced and see some of the specs and see good stuff coming out of it. Okay, 2 more things I want to talk about this evening. All right. Just going to take a breather for a second. All right. So if you haven't heard of this, it's a fitness company, and they make something called Mirror. And basically what Mirror is it's like a mirror that you stand in front of, and you can work out. And there's like people, like they show you how to like do like your exercises. And it's a pretty cool concept. I actually really like the idea of it. And basically what they're announcing, what the company's announcing, is that they're going to have live trainer sessions, which I also think is pretty cool. I like the idea of having like this big mirror that shows you how to do all your stuff, and you can kind of work out. It's almost like a workout buddy. Cool idea. Now let's talk about some of the things I don't like. I think it's a cool idea in itself, but like here's the problem with it. First of all, this mirror is $1,500. So let's just talk about this mirror being $1,500. So here's what I don't get. Like, why do I have to use this mirror? Can't I just like use my TV? Why do I have to spend $1,500 on this thing? Like, what does it do that my TV, like a phone app or like something on my iPad can't do. And the reason I say that is because I participate in some like workouts at home. Like I do biking. I compete with Zwift. If you're not familiar with it, ZWIFT, and basically it's like a bike, like real racing and training app that you can hook to your TV, iPad. It's like $15 a month, and connects to your bike, and you can like bike in your house on a trainer, like watching your TV and like be going like it's like you're going bike in New York City or London or wherever. Um, it's like $15 a month. So when I see this like mirror, I think like, oh, that's pretty cool, but like, whoa, $1,500 to start this thing. And I think of like Zwift, which is this amazing piece of software that there's like it's just $15 a month. Like you download it for free. So I think like, well, why do I need this mirror? Why everyone has a TV? Like it's so much cheaper for me to go to the store. I can literally buy a 55-inch TV for $400, um, and put it like in my house, and I can use it for 10 other things. Like I can watch TV with it and play video games and do whatever. So like, why am I going to spend $1,500 on this thing? So maybe you're paying for the software, but like that's a lot, because like programs like Zwift, which are really in depth and popular and used by like triathletes, are only like 15 a month. Okay, so then we get to these personal training sessions. $40 per session. Um, I don't want to say that's a lot. It is and isn't. So, for good, solid personal training from a professional, when it's just you one-on-one, like if they're coming to your house, like that's actually pretty cheap. It's on the lower end. But like if I go to like a Gold's Gym and buy like a package, now we're talking like that's actually really expensive. So it's kind of like, it's not on the cheap end, and it's not like on the high end either. It's kind of like in the middle to even low end of personal training. But the thing is, like, no one is really coming to your house. You're just like watching them on this mirror thing, so they're not really coming there. And like $40 a session, like I feel like I should be able to buy a service for like $40 a month that gives me like, I don't know, a few training sessions that's like on my TV or phone app. Like I feel like this company has kind of priced themselves out of the market. I think there will be some people who will pay for it. There's people out there paying for the Peloton, which is, in my opinion, is also, but that's a service that you pay for. You're paying like 35 or 40 a month, even though I think that bike is way overpriced. That's a whole nother thing that I would never purchase. But I know there's people out there that do like it, but like they don't charge $40 a session. They charge like $30 to $40 a month, which I still think is way overpriced for that. But this is significantly more. So I don't know how this company's going to really make it. I think they need to switch to a software model that works on everything, and have some kind of better pricing structure. But it's kind of cool. I mean, it's neat to look at. I don't know. I think it's like way, like kind of crazy the amount that you spend. I think it's like way a lot of money. So anyway, that's that. That's a cool like tech thing. And then finally, there's one other thing I want to talk about tonight. And basically, I thought this was really cool. But I got to let my kid try this. I thought this was kind of neat. So you probably haven't heard of the game Rabbids. It's a TV show, actually, Rabbids. Have you heard of it? Probably not. So what Rabbids are they're these... you can see the picture on the screen here. So they are these like bunny things. I don't know if they're really bunnies or rabbits. They're called Rabbids, like rabbit, like, but I don't know what they are. They are these creatures that look like bunnies that basically they like run around and do lots of like bad things. It's almost like a Tom and Jerry or Roadrunner kind of show. They like play tricks on each other, and they don't even talk. They say like, "Wah, wah, wah, wah," like that. Like they talk like Snoopy. But my kids just crack up the whole time they watch a show. Kids love it. It's hilarious to them. So whatever. Okay, it's kind of funny, I guess. I mean, but anyway, it's a popular character. And they've come out with like Rabbid video games. They did like Rabbids and Mario. Like there was this cool like Rabbids and Mario Brothers game for the Switch that my kids loved and played a lot. So there's a cool Rabbids coding game where Rabbids is teaching young gamers basic programming concepts. Free game. It's for Windows. It's 100% free. I like that. They say that it's made for like 7-year-olds, give or take. So I think that my son, who's 8, turning 9 next week, actually, will be able to use it. So I'm really excited. Like, it looks really cool. Like, any game that is teaching is free and teaching kids like programming and coding concepts. Like, I think it's awesome. So like, they're going to learn something while they play. Really excited for this. Definitely got to download it for my son to see if he'd like it. My 6-year-old, I don't know if he'll like it. Maybe he will play it. I mean, he can like read now and stuff. So, they learn a lot from playing games. I credit my kids' math and reading, like learning ability, to just playing these video games. So I've been really excited about that. I think they're doing well in school and ahead in both math and reading because they're able to play games. They had to learn how to read to play their game, or else I wasn't going to sit there with them for every game they want to play. So yeah, really excited. Definitely, if you have kids or you're like a teacher, K to 12, like, I think this is a really cool game to try out because the kids all know what this is. It's entertaining and it's free. All right, that's everything for tonight. If you have any questions, always just leave comments and I'll pop on and answer them. But as always, have a good night. I will be on again. Let's see. I will be on Thursday at 1 p.m. All right, all. Have a good night.